Alright guys, here's an update on this Can Am. Yesterday me and Rev and Kevin went through this and actually got it running. Was able to get it in gear. It was slipping. Transmission fluid wasn't even showing on the dipstick, so I assume it's just low from seeping out of the pan. Anyways, I started here in the trunk, or what's left of the trunk. Cleaning this out, tons of rust scale and stuff that I swept out of here, scooped out of here, vacuumed out of here. Yeah, it was a lot. Anyways, the guy put this carpet in there, and obviously the moisture was held in by that. You can see a nice gas tank underneath there. And found some interesting things. This looks like about 1/8 inch plate that was silicone to this little corner here like that. So I had to peel that away, and you can still see some of the silicone that they used to repair that. So yeah, that was an interesting repair. Quarters are not too bad. A lot of scale, but they're solid, which is really strange. But the trunk is really rotten. Also, you can see up here where there's all kinds of rust that worked its way up when it was trying to escape the trunk. And I have a feeling a lot of that came through the, I don't know if you can see the drain tubes for the sunroof. Bottom of the trunk is, trunk edge just rotted out pretty bad. I've got to take the spoiler off and see what kind of rust is under here. You can actually see there's quite a bit of rust, so I'm afraid I'll probably have to find another trunk lid for this thing. And no shortage of rust here around the windows. Lots of rust there all the way up top here. There's eating all the way through. And the guy had said, who I bought it from, that he had someone repair the roof, the sunroof and everything, right before his wedding back in the 90s. And all they did, I don't know if you can see this, is just layer Bondo on top of the rust, and it's just coming up all over. So I'll probably pull a roof skin off of a parts car and fabricate an opening for the sky roof here, which you can see I started hand cranking it open by hand. There's a kind of a Allen head screw in there where the motor is, so that you can manually operate the mechanism in case the motor fails, the electric motor fails. So anyways, this all seems to be pretty solid, so I'm going to end up taking the bolts out. There's like, I don't know if you can see this. There's several of them. 1, 2, probably about 8 or 10 around the perimeter of this thing, and it unbolts from the inner roof structure, which leaves you just this open hole here. So this all would come out, and then I'd have to do all the metal work, get all that ready, and then bolt it back in. But plenty of rust up here. Front windshield's not as bad as the back window, so Not too worried about that. Hood's in fair condition. It's got some rust. Got rust through right here where this molding goes around the shaker hood opening. So definitely repairable. Straight hood. A little bit of surface rust there. A little bit of eat through right there. And this side's a little bit worse, but definitely workable. You can see how the molding for the opening for the shaker looks. Just a piece of formed aluminum with shims that keep it stuck in the position it's at, so kind of interesting. But the motor runs good. I got a video of that. Made some rattling sounds. We found out that the water pump bearings are shot. The alternator was locked up, so we cut the belt off of that, and we had it running for a good 5 minutes or so on some fresh gas that we ran out of a jug. So the motor's solid, so I'm not too worried about that, but got a lot of rust to clean up here. But yeah, I'll probably salvage the hood. Doors are pretty decent. There's some rot at the bottom. That's pretty straightforward to fix, but again, you can see, you know, just the Bondo that was lathered on here to make the roof look pretty. But definitely going to work with this somehow. There's some rust coming through there. The louvered windows. Got some issues here, down here, but quarters are not that bad. I got some rust through here. A little down there. Most of those will just take some patch panels. Since they don't make a replacement quarter panel for this, there's a company on listed on eBay that sells supposedly hand-formed quarter panels for this, and they look kind of rough, to put it mildly. So I don't know if I'm going to go that route or just find a complete Le Mans parts car and start pulling sheet metal off of that. But definitely a lot of metal work. Floorboards are rusted. Obviously, because of the moisture coming through the sunroof. Good thing is there are floor pans available, since this is the same, I guess, on all GMA bodies from 73 to 77. There's a hodgepodge of wires from the aftermarket cruise control. Turbo 400 transmission. Very cheesy exhaust. They smashed that down, and these, I'm guessing, are probably 1 3/4 or 2 inch at best, and then they squashed it here at the cross member, so it's pretty well choked down, but at least it does have dual exhaust. But as you can see, no shortage of rust down here either. Got some old school sonic turbo mufflers. Lots of good stuff on here, but a little bit of rust there in the lower fender. Got some bubbling here on the driver's door. Like I said, that's pretty straightforward. A little bit on the rear quarter there, not too bad. So this originally was a Texas car, even though it spent a good period of time up in Pennsylvania, so it's not horrible. Strangely enough, the paint on these wheels is amazing on all four of them, so I don't know if you can see the inside is still nice and white on both sides too. There's our fancy turbo mufflers. So got the TA exhaust tips on there. Spoiler's in good shape. Interior's not too bad. Door panels leave a little bit to be desired. It's got the Trans Am steering wheel on it, tack, 100-mile-an-hour speedometer, full gauges. The seat looks pretty darn good. Over there it got a lot of water damage, just like the panels in the back there, but the seat, there's no tears in it, it's still soft. But lots of work to do up here. And the thing that sucks is the inner roof structure is completely different from the non-sunroof cars. It's got a different inner structure. You can see that this has a recessed area with studs welded in that come down to actually mount the sunroof assembly to, which is kind of cool. There's the motor for the sunroof. But yeah, it's different for sure. I thought they might have cut some stuff out at the factory and welded in some brackets for the sunroof, but this is a completely different setup. Very interesting setup. But that's pretty much it. $78,000 original miles. Had a hard life for 78,000 miles. Anyways, got to finish the Hearst and then start buying some sheet metal for this thing and getting after this.